All right, guys, we got the latest employment number in Canada this morning, and the headline number actually makes you think that the jobs number was strong, coming in at about 50,000. 50,000 jobs created in Canada for the month of November. But when you dig deeper into the data, you start to realize the weakness in the details. And the one that jumped out to me the most is that 45,000 of the 50,000 jobs created in November were government hires. So the same theme continues. Government deficits, as in the federal government continues to spend money it doesn't have to prop up the economy, which prevents the Bank of Canada decreasing interest rates as much as they would like to, which would then stimulate the private sector, entrepreneurs to start businesses, hire employees, all that great stuff. But that's not happening because the federal government continues to run deficits, which creates inflation and hire a lot of government workers. For example, in the last year, 4 out of 10 jobs created in Canada were government hires. Think about that for a sec. 4 out of 10 across Canada. It's a staggering number, and this theme continues. So when you look at the headline number of 50,000 jobs for November, it looks strong, but again, it's just the government propping up the economy. Also, the unemployment rate popped up to 6.8%, which is alarming. It's a 0.3% jump over the previous month. So this just goes to show that more and more people are looking for work in Canada than previously. And I think the number exactly was about 80-some thousand more people are unemployed in Canada this month than last. And over the past year, I think it's 276,000 more people are unemployed in Canada from 12 months ago. So again, the employment sector, looking at the headline number, looks strong, but it's not. The government continues to prop up our economy. What does today's employment number in Canada mean for the Bank of Canada next week on December 11th? Well, I think there's a real chance that they're going to cut 0.5% now. Today's number was weak. The details were weak. The unemployment rate popped to 6.8%. Toronto, Canada's biggest country, has an unemployment rate of 8.1%. Think about that for a sec. That's a really high number for such a populous region in Canada. So I believe that the Bank of Canada probably want to get ahead of this, and so this increases the chances that they're going to cut by 0.5% on December 11th. Is 0.25% still a possibility? Totally. But I'm kind of leaning towards 0.5% now, given today's job. Why am I leaning towards 0.5% cut by the Bank of Canada on December 11th? Well, the Bank of Canada has previously told us that they believe the neutral rate is somewhere around 2.5 to 2.75%. And currently, the Bank of Canada rate is at 3.75. So based on that, their interest rates are still restrictive from an economic standpoint, meaning that it's restricting the economy. So given that unemployment is increasing at an alarming rate, our GDP came in at 1% this quarter, you have to assume that they at least want to get to neutral, which would be 2.5, 2.75. So another 1% below where we are today, which argues for them to cut another 0.5% and keep cutting until we get sub 3%. Take care.